Hello again, and today's lecture is called Action-Centered Leadership, and it's a study of a model originally established by John Adair, who was president of the Industrial Society, and he spent a lot of time studying leaders and managers at Sandhurst Military College. And he came up with a model of management and leadership that's kind of universal. It stood the test of time, and I like it because it's a very simple, straightforward model, and the times when I've been in a leadership situation or a management situation, it has been one I've been able to call to mind very easily. It's based on the idea that we at any one time need to be able to pay attention to one of three key areas. Now those circles are meant to be the same size, so my apologies for the distortion there. In fact, let's try that again. One of three key areas. And just to get your brains thinking, each of the areas begins with one of these letters. So we've got a T, and an I. For those of you that have come across action-centered leadership before, you will know that one of the things that the managers or the leader needs to pay attention to is the job of work that is being done, the project that you're engaged in. And that includes the resources, that includes the deadlines, that includes the budget, that includes the targets, that includes all the milestones along the way. And all of that can fall under the heading task. So the task that goes, that we're working towards, the task that we're trying to achieve. And that is a very important part of the leader's responsibility. Now, let's go bottom left, the circle in the bottom left. Who are the people who are carrying out the task? Well, they are the, try my spelling again, they are the team involved, the group of people whose responsibility it is to carry out the task and for whom you are responsible. And then the I sitting in the bottom right hand corner there, or the bottom right hand circle, relates to the people that comprise the team, and so that could be said to be the individuals. Okay, they're the individuals. So the notion is, Adair's model suggests that we as managers and leaders need to be able to pay attention to the task in hand, the team, the people who are doing the task, and the individuals, the group of people that comprise the team and are doing the task. And we have to have the capacity to take each of those areas on board at the right time. Now, it's a bit naive to believe that what we should be doing is spending all our time in this middle section here. To spread ourselves almost too thinly and not doing any one of the three well. What he's suggesting, what Adair is suggesting, is we need to pay attention to the right thing at the right time. Now, if, for example, all we ever do is focus on the task, well, we become very budget-focused, target-focused, goal-focused, and perhaps we neglect the needs of the team and the individual. So if you can imagine a group of Boy Scouts wandering about in the outdoors on an expedition with their scout leader, and the scout leader's focused on where he needs to get to. He wants to be at camp that night. He's got his compass or his GPS and his map, and he's striding out the front. Follow me, he's saying. And off the back of the little group of Boy Scouts, you've got boys falling over, twisting their ankles, getting lost, not keeping up. And the scout leader's saying, doesn't matter, we're still going to get there, most of us are with us. So he's not going to have the team with him. And that isn't sustainable. It might get the job done, but it isn't sustainable. Similarly, we might have a leader who only ever focuses on morale. And in this context, with our Boy Scouts, you might have the happiest group of Boy Scouts who are singing songs and round the campfire and sharing sweets, but they're completely lost. They don't know where they need to be, and they're not going to get to camp on time. So we've inadvisedly spent too much time focusing on the team or on the task. It may be that we focus on the individuals. And again, if we spread ourselves so thinly that all we're doing is focusing on individual needs and we're not paying attention to morale and we're not focusing on what needs to be done, well, again, we're not quite going to hit the mark. So how do we balance ourselves between each of those? Well, this is where we deploy something I like to call the leaders or managers helicopter. Yes, you guessed it. Of course it's a helicopter. The leaders or the manager's helicopter. And what we do from our position in the helicopter is to look at the whole, to look at the task, look at the team, look at the individual, and decide which needs our attention. So we could land on task and focus on that, pay attention to what needs doing, make sure we're on target, and then take off again. We might land on the needs of an individual and make sure that each person is feeling valued and knows what it is that they need to be doing. And similarly, we could drop in, pay attention to morale, and make sure that that's okay. But crucially, we take off again. So as a leader or a manager, our role is very much positioned in a standing back, bigger picture position so that we can see which of the areas of focus we need to pay attention to. So there's a first look at action-centered leadership and Adair's model. My question that I guess I'd leave you with is, which area do you need to be paying attention to right now? Looking forward to speaking to you in another lecture. Thank you very much.